The Panthers could be getting a treat from an old nemesis. That old nemesis being Derek Carr. Right? Derek Carr had some pretty good games against Carolina, specifically right at the beginning of last season. Now, Derek Carr is reportedly dealing with some kind of a shoulder injury that may lead to some absence this year, perhaps some corrections that need to take place and everything else. If that happens, specifically if we hear anything about that in the next, 10 days before the draft, whoo boy, that could be the best thing for the Panthers. Why? Because that makes the Saints darn near desperate for a quarterback, and the Saints are picking 9th and the Panthers are picking 8th. And outside of just a generational talent that you love being available at your pick, maybe the next best thing is having a absolutely quarterback needy team picking right after you when there's a quarterback still on the board. Because now you get to go, and let's start the bidding at 2 first-round picks. Do I hear 2 first-round picks? And then we got a late first and a first next year. Do we hear 2? You get to start the bidding on teams that want to jump the Saints. And Dan Morgan, who did speak to the media earlier today, the GM, we have some audio for you later in the show. We also have some audio for you right now on discussing trading back and evaluating the board and everything that goes into the decision to trade back.
Obviously, we'll count numbers and, in terms of outside backers and interior guys, it's definitely a strong class, which we're excited about because, I think that's still an emphasis that we want to address is, just make our front seven as strong as it can be. So we'll look at all in every scenario, but, yeah, we'll definitely look into that.
The exciting part would be the unpredictability of it, but if the Saints desperately need a quarterback, which means they're out on Spencer Rattler, which they saw him a little bit last year. We don't know what they're really thinking. And they're not all in on just an absolute tank job, which you see every once in a while, right? They've got cap problems left and right. If they just decide to eat it, that obviously makes them less desperate for a win now quarterback. But if they want to win this year, and if they want to have a quarterback of the future and Shedeur Sanders is there at 8, Panthers can spread their legs a little bit and try to see what they got going on, right? They can really relax, put their feet up, and wait for the calls to come in. So then you do have to do a little bit about what Dan Morgan was doing there, right? Figure out how far back you can go and still get a player you're interested in, because that becomes part of the math, right? If you're looking at the board at 8 and you say there's 5 players that we like, well, guess what? Assuming that whoever's trading up is going to take Shedeur Sanders, you can trade back as far as 14 and get one of those players 100%. Or if you want to be a little risky, you can go a little bit further and hope someone else doesn't take one of your 5 guys. You have to be that prepared. But the Saints may be giving the Panthers a gift if it becomes known that they are quarterback less in an NFL where you need your quarterback. Quarterback is job security. And yes, Colorado is retiring Shedeur Sanders' number, which just shows that they should be all over him as a top 10 pick, right? It doesn't show that his dad is the coach and gets to decide which jerseys get retired, right? Cordell Stewart doesn't even have his Colorado jersey number retired. But let's not open up that can of worms. My point is it could be very good for the Panthers. Now, if Shedeur Sanders goes 3 to the Giants, I know they scheduled a guaranteed, not a guaranteed, a last second would be the word workout with Shedeur. If that happens, it's not as good, but it's still good for the Panthers because that pushes another good skill or position player, non-quarterback, down to you because you're not in the quarterback market, and that would be another quarterback drafted above you. That's all good news as well. And if the Saints get antsy, they're picking 9th, and they think, the Panthers are going to trade their pick away to someone else that wants quarterback, so they trade up to 7, it's the same thing, right? That just means that the quarterbacks will be drafted earlier, and that'll push a better player at a position of need for the Panthers down to them. They want, if we're being honest, they want Jackson Dart to go 7, and they want Shedeur to go 3, and Cam Ward to go 1, and all of them. Jalen Milroe to go 5. They want all the quarterbacks drafted because that pushes better players down to them. If we're being fantastical.
Need 4 quarterbacks to go in the first 5 picks.
Why not?
Right? Make it happen. Why not?
Does it make sense? No. But does it not make sense? Yes. That's exactly what we're looking for here.
That's all we need.